Have you ever had someone wish you happy birthday? And instead of feeling excited, you felt a tiny wave of discomfort? Maybe you smiled, said thank you, but deep down you just wanted the day to pass quietly. No cake, no crowd, no attention. Just normal. And if that sounds like you, you've probably wondered at some point. Why? Because the world treats birthdays like they're supposed to be joyful, loud, and full of celebration. Social media is flooded with balloons, surprises, and long emotional captions. So if you don't enjoy it, it almost feels like you're doing something wrong. But here's the interesting part. Your brain might not be rejecting birthdays. It might actually be protecting something deeper. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine this. It's your birthday. People are gathering. Maybe your phone is buzzing nonstop, and all eyes are suddenly on you. Sounds nice in theory. But psychologically, this creates something called social spotlight pressure. Your brain becomes hyper-aware that you are the center of attention. Every reaction, every expression, every expectation, it all feels magnified. For some people, that spotlight feels exciting. For others, it feels like standing on a stage without a script. And if you're someone who naturally observes more than you express, that spotlight can feel exhausting rather than joyful. Now here's where it gets deeper. A lot of people who don't like celebrating birthdays aren't actually anti-celebration. They're anti-performance. Think about it. Birthdays often come with invisible expectations. You're supposed to feel happy. You're supposed to act grateful. You're supposed to enjoy the surprise, the attention, the planning someone else did for you. But what if your internal state doesn't match that script? Your brain starts creating a subtle tension between what you feel and what you think you should feel. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. And instead of enjoying the moment, you're quietly managing that gap. So avoiding birthdays becomes less about rejecting joy and more about avoiding emotional conflict. Now let's talk about another layer that most people don't notice. Birthdays are not just celebrations. They are reminders. Reminders of time passing, of where you are in life, of where you thought you'd be by now. And your brain, whether you realize it or not, automatically runs a comparison. What have I achieved this year? Am I where I'm supposed to be? Why do others seem ahead? Even if you don't consciously think these thoughts, they exist quietly in the background. And for people who are naturally reflective or introspective, birthdays can feel less like a party and more like a personal audit. That's why some people feel a strange heaviness on their birthday, even when everything around them looks happy. It's not sadness. It's awareness. And awareness, when it comes too quickly or too intensely, can feel overwhelming. Now here's something else that might resonate with you. Some people don't like birthdays because they don't like forced connection. You know those moments when people you barely talk to suddenly message you? Or when conversations feel a bit scripted? Many happy returns, stay blessed, enjoy your day. It's kind, of course. But your brain can sense when something feels routine rather than real. And if you're someone who values deep, genuine connection over surface-level interaction, those moments can feel slightly empty. Not bad, just not meaningful enough. So instead of feeling connected, you feel disconnected in a crowd of attention. And that's a very specific emotional experience that not everyone understands. There's also a quieter, more personal reason. Some people associate birthdays with past disappointments. Maybe a year when no one remembered, or a celebration that didn't feel right, or expectations that weren't met. Your brain is very good at pattern recognition. It stores emotional memories and tries to protect you from repeating them. So instead of risking another uncomfortable experience, it gently nudges you toward avoiding the situation altogether. Not dramatically, just subtly. Let's keep it low-key this year. I don't really feel like celebrating. And over time, that becomes your preference. But here's the part that changes everything. Not liking birthdays doesn't mean you don't value your life. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful or distant or emotionally closed. It often means you experience things more internally than externally. You don't need loud celebrations to feel meaning. You don't need a crowd to feel seen. Your brain finds value in quieter, more personal moments. Maybe it's a calm evening, a meaningful conversation, or even just time alone to reflect. And that's not a weakness. That's a different way of processing life. In fact, many people who avoid big birthday celebrations are highly self-aware. They think deeply, feel deeply, and prefer authenticity over performance. They not rejecting celebration. They redefining it. So the next time your birthday comes around and you feel that familiar hesitation, instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking something else. What actually feels right for me? Because celebration doesn't have to look like everyone else's version. It can be quiet. It can be simple. It can even be invisible to the outside world. But if it feels honest to you, it counts. And maybe that's the real psychology behind it. Not avoidance, but alignment. And now I'm curious. Are you someone who enjoys celebrating birthdays, or do you prefer to keep it low-key? Let me know your experience. You might be surprised how many people feel the same way.